known Joey for 35 years.
It's crazy how long it's been.
And around. Galloway broke a tackle. Inside the 30, he might go. Touchdown.
Watch the leadership from Herbstreit. Come in. That's the quarterback that's going to put one on a linebacker right there.
Last year's starting quarterback. Tell me, Kirk, what's the difference in this ball team from last year? The unity is really here. You can obviously see it. And also the big play of Joey Galloway. It's incredible what he can bring to an offense.
These two guys are going to be involved in televising the national championship. We know they are familiar faces to Kirk Herbstreit, Joey Galloway.
Let a naysayer know.
That is not what I thought.
The professional's right in the middle of his team. I thought it was going down.
Still running to 4-3. Joey Galloway.
Yeah, Joey! But like that. I mean, do we have?
All right,
is there any way I can block my screen where it's like?
Welcome to Nonstop. It's the official and season show of Kirk Herbstreit and Joey Galloway. Your first stop for all things football, college and pro, every Monday.
Welcome to the show. And Joey, I think we should spend maybe this at least 20 minutes on the effort there by your quarterback peeling back to get a block, to free you, to just, even though it was a relevant block. I mean, I had to put who, by the way, who found that? That's incredible. I think that
was amazing. That whole little run there was so amazing. And it's funny when you go back, you start to look for little things that you missed. You've seen it 100 times. Start to look back for little things that you might have missed, and it's a heck of a block by you.
I decleated him. I will say that.
That was amazing. Back in the day when you could do that.
Yeah,
you can't do that anymore.
Well, I had shoulder pads up to my top, about the middle of my head.
The big sleeves. I mean, you.
By the way, I just want to let the record state: Joey ruined my senior year by getting injured the next week. Right.
Yeah, that was a
devastating blow.
Yeah, that was a tough one. I was that's when my watching The Young and the Restless took off.
Oh, really?
I was on crutches.
Yeah,
for like 6 months, and I'm like, let me check out Victor Newman, see what that's all about.
We had a young back by the name of Eddie George that was just starting to emerge. You're my good friend who's now at Bowling Green, and you went down with an injury, which was what could have been if you stayed healthy.
Yeah, it'd have been fun.
We lost our speedster. What a weekend, by the way, of college football. We were down at Miami for college game day. Unbelievable scene in Miami. Appreciate everybody coming out to the show. It was about 130 degrees with about 100% humidity, but we pushed through it. You know how much I love the heat, so we were able to get through that. But the game, Miami against Florida, we'll get into that in a second. We're gonna have John Mateer, the Oklahoma quarterback, joining us in probably about 15 or 20 minutes. To me, one of the great stories in this. In these first 4 weeks of the college football season, he and Ben Arbuckle come down from Washington State, and man, he's got that Johnny Manziel, Baker Mayfield kind of vibe to him, and they got tested and really did a good job of finding a way to win that. Although there were some controversial moments in that game, they got to win. Auburn actually, I didn't think looked that bad. I think Auburn played pretty well considering everything that they were facing. There's a lot to get to here. Is there a game that caught your eye more than any of the others? I mean, Miami, because of the way they play defense, is really fun to watch. They got to get a lot better before they get ready for Florida State when it comes to their passing game. But Indiana had a big win. Texas Tech. There's a lot of places to start. Where would you like to get started here?
I think if I had to, after the weekend was over and I sat back and thought about it, probably the Indiana-Illinois game for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, we keep having these conversations about these teams, and the Big Ten hasn't really played anybody yet. And so I was sort of waiting on this one, waiting on next week when Oregon travels to Penn State, so we can start to see what some of these teams are. And I think if anything surprised me, I mean, Indiana, they ran through Illinois as if Illinois was just some Division II school.
Yeah.
And Illinois was top 10 in the AP poll, and they ran through them like they were they didn't
where's
deserve to be there.
defense? I mean, what in the hell is happening? Brett
Yeah.
Bielema was supposed to be physicality, line of scrimmage, defense, toughness, and Indiana went for over 300 yards on the ground. Mendoza, he had 5 touchdowns, but to me, it's what you said: the running game, the defense, the mentality. IU's got a chip on their shoulder. They hate everybody. They love to be the villain.
Yeah.
And man, they sent a message, didn't they, to the whole country?
They did, and it's fun to see that because of the chip, because of that they are like, we're going to send you a message. The best part about this is later on, they travel to Penn State, they travel to Oregon. And so we get to see, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we get to the end, and how these conversations always happen, and then somebody didn't play a couple teams in conference, and they get the miss, and they sort of
last year, Indiana.
Absolutely right. They get to sort of backdoor their way in, and you don't really know what they are. They could be good, but it's like you don't really know.
Totally different deal this year.
Different deal. We get to find out because they get to go on the road. But I do appreciate what they did this weekend. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, I'm with you. I do think you're right. Indiana last year, hey, they got to the playoff, but they didn't beat a team with a record over 500 and had the benefit of being able to still get in there. And I think this year, if they do what they just did against Illinois, that's a top 10 team. How's that look on the resume? They go to Oregon. And by the way, if they go to Oregon, not a lot of people win in Eugene, Oregon. They go to Penn State, not a lot of what they just did against Illinois. If they just go and compete and battle, they may win, but if they go and compete in those kind of venues, then they get the benefit of the doubt, when it comes to optics. So with a win like that against a top 10 team, that's a huge thing to consider, down the road as they grow. What about Texas Tech? They spent all that money.
Yeah.
Everybody talked about all the money they spent and how that's good. They're going to be a team to look out for. We were kind of like, oh, okay, well, we'll see. They go to Utah, another tough place. Everybody talked about Kyle Willingham. He's kind of rebooted this team, and they're back to being Utah. Maybe they are, but last Saturday with a backup quarterback, by the way, that went in after the starter got dinged in the third quarter. The score was 10-3, and the starter goes out, and Will Hammond steps in and just kind of steadied the ship. And boy, what a win. That one stands out as another win this weekend.
I think that game sort of took a turn for me because I didn't think either team was playing very good. Each team had, I think, 2-3 turnovers early in the game, pretty. And it just wasn't pretty. And it was like, man, I expected Baron Morton to come out here and just sort of light it up because they were number 1 in the country in scoring offense. And again, you have these conversations where who have they played? So we need to see them play somebody. So now they're playing Utah, and it's just sort of puddling along here. And it's like, okay, they're winning, but this is not very inspiring.
Yeah.
And then with the backup quarterback, crazy thing they scored 24 points in the fourth quarter. And you walk away feeling better about this team than you did when they had their starting quarterback in there. Because, and I think, when you look back a couple of years and what happened with Florida State losing a starting quarterback, we have all these conversations now about injuries and how they affect the team. And to see what they did after Baron Morton went out, then they flip it. You walk away feeling like, you know what? That's a pretty good football team that can deal with the idea of losing your quarterback, and the backup comes in, immediately throws a touchdown, makes some big runs, and get things going. You feel better about that team. I think Texas Tech is a pretty good football team and going to be interesting to watch.
Yeah, and they got Houston coming up, which I think could be potentially a good game. Houston hadn't lost a game. Their quarterback, Connor Weigman, was the quarterback at A&M, and he's got them rolling. Texas Tech, I think anytime somebody goes out in this new era of the portal, and the NIL, and they spend money and they bring people in. I think at first when we went through this, I thought, that's one thing but how are they going to gel as a team? Like when you're not used to this and you bring in a lot of new guys that are making a lot of money, kind of us old school guys, traditionalists think, but what's that going to go like in the locker room? But it doesn't seem to the good coaches figure out a way to get these guys to get to know each other. You got to take us out of the picture, guys in our era. This is what these guys know. And so it's normal to them. They've been bouncing around on 7-on-7 teams throughout their lives. They've been bouncing around, in some cases, high school teams. Why not in their minds? Why not in college? So the idea of us thinking, are they going to gel as a team? I think in reality, in your 18 to 22-year-old mind, this is what you know. What's the big deal? And so I think that if you have the right coach with the right culture, you know, we've seen guys be able to do this pretty quickly. And again, it's just a game, but it was a big game. It appears that Texas Tech has been able to come together as a team. What about, speaking of that, Bryce Underwood? Everybody talked about him getting all that money and what's he going to be like. Oklahoma a couple weeks ago didn't go as well for the young quarterback, and for Michigan, they have their coach who's not allowed to be in the building this week. Sharon Moore, Biff Poggi steps up and obviously has the team ready to go. Michigan, you know, I think they're smart when it comes to let's run the ball. That was a huge play. I don't know how that opened up, but with his speed, you may want to spy him. But Justice Haynes really, I think, became the story for Michigan once again, especially on the road. Michigan's going to rely on their defense. They're going to rely on the veteran running backs and let the quarterback keep growing every single week and just get experience. What was your take? Michigan, that's a tough place to play, as you know, going to Lincoln. That was a big win for Michigan.
It was a big win for Michigan. I sort of had them on my upset alert. For the life of me, I keep holding on to Nebraska is going to show up eventually.
They're coming back. Matt Rule, third year at Temple,
Dylan
third
Raiola,
year at Baylor. Now he's in his third year at Nebraska. It's supposed to be the year.
What are we holding on to? What exactly
We're holding
is
on to
it?
1995.
What is that? What it is? Like we keep. I keep. I'm done. By the way, I keep getting sucked in. I do. I'm like, hey,
I'm that way with USC, dude.
I don't
every year. I think USC, Lincoln Riley, USC.
I don't know what I'm holding on to. By halftime, it was 17-17, and I already thrown in the towel. I'm like, that's it. Same Nebraska. I mean,
bro, it's the stadium. It's a sold out, awesome atmosphere, best fans, the uniform from our era. We know Nebraska, they're a bunch of bad dudes, and yet we're still waiting.
I'm tapping out. I'm no longer waiting. You can hold on to USC if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
Because honestly, Michigan that's what they are. They're going to run the football. They keep churning in these running backs. And Justice Haynes is another one.
Yeah.
That is going to
Jordan Marshall.
Yeah, they keep rolling them in. And they just keep being a physical football team. And now they have Bryce Underwood, who let me say this. When I watch him play,
Vince Young,
he is better than Arch Manning right now.
Oh, yeah.
And we've had 1,000 conversations.
His poise.
And
he's been here his whole life.
His timing.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't mean, because I know that people are going to look at that and say, well, he only threw for 100 some yards.
No.
I'm looking at talent. I'm looking at skill. And more importantly, I'm looking at timing of when he throws the ball, which when you talk about a kid's ability to go from college to the NFL, it is the timing is the biggest issue for all of them. How quickly I have to get the ball out of my hands because my receiver was open and now he's not.
Right.
Or he's going to be open, so I got to throw it, trusting he's going to be there. That's the difference.
Right.
And this kid here, when I watch him play, and then you add in the swagger he has, and it's like it's not too big for him. It's like, hey, we're in Lincoln, Nebraska. Don't worry about nothing. We got this. Right. But it's helpful to have a run game like that. But he's been fun to watch. I think he's been really good.
I think he has been in this era of quarterbacks where the expectations are almost unrealistic.
Yes.
And look across the whole country. The whole country. We set a bar of Lenore Sellers, I mean, he's the best one out there. Or DJ Lagway, he's the best player I've ever seen. I mean, and of course Arch Manning. And it's just, this is the one guy that they're not saying go do everything. I think they're very wisely saying, hey, we got some guys on defense. We got some veteran leadership over here. We're gonna lean on them. We got Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall. We got an offensive line that's getting better every single week. And Bryce, just when it's there, take it. When it's not, we'll punt. Like, we're okay. And I tell you what, every single week they're just gonna kind of getting a little bit better. And so as long as they don't self-destruct. And put him in obvious passing situations where they dig themselves a hole. Now he's got to throw. As long as they avoid, because you know what's missing right now? They've got some receivers. This Macaulay kid from Indiana is a good, big, tall receiver, but they don't have a guy that makes you hold your breath right now. They're developing as a group, but they don't have that, like a Desmond Howard kind of guy, like somebody you're obviously paying attention to. So I think it's just Chip Lindsey, the OC there, came over from North Carolina. I think they're very, very intelligently kind of piecing this thing together. But that was a big, momentum win, I think, for them, with Sharon Moore not there. That's now behind them. All the bullshit, all the noise is kind of behind them. They win, and now they can kind of keep going forward. I want to get your thoughts on Miami against Florida. I was calling that game, and at one point I kind of got frustrated with Florida, not so much because they weren't winning the game. It was just the offense. I know they're going against Ruben Bain and a really talented Miami defensive front, maybe the best in the country, but it was just like they'd go 3 and out and they just kind of walk over the sidelines. And when they got the ball back, they'd kind of jog out onto the field, but there was just no, just do something, like somebody push somebody get in a fight, somebody show me you're excited to be there, because there's nothing there. Now, to their credit, they came back in the second half and got going. But what did you think of Miami? Miami's up to 2 this week in the rankings, I think.
Yeah.
Are they the number 2 team in the country? And there's some pieces to really like. And then I feel like there's some pieces that are still kind of, let's wait and see who they really are.
Yeah. Florida's a bad ball club. They're bad.
Fair. Right now.
Today.
Yeah. Today they are.
And I felt the same thing that you felt. It was like, we're bad. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah. We're bad. And so Miami beats a bad Florida team, which is now 1-3, and they move up a couple spots. See, the reaction, and I keep hearing people talk about, well, it's a rivalry game. Hey, listen, if the other team ain't any good, it doesn't matter. That if you didn't know and you just watched the game, there is no way you walked away thinking that was a rivalry game for Florida. Not a chance.
No chance.
They had no attitude with it. It was like,
that's why I called that out. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yes.
Compete, lose. That's fine. But
absolutely.
You practice all week to play. I don't know if the rain bothered them. I don't know if they just completely disinterested offensively.
Yes.
In the first half.
Yeah. And so let's not call it a rivalry game and act like the rivalry part of it adds to a bad football game, because Florida did not treat it like a rivalry game, just an attitude. Now, I can't speak to what they did during the week. I can't speak to what their coaching staff thought. What I can speak to is what I watched, the body language of the players. And much like you, I kept looking at the little things where, like, right after the whistle type stuff, where Miami would give you one extra shove. And you're expecting, in a rivalry game, you're expecting Florida to give one little shove back.
Right.
And it was like,
nope.
Nah.
But Joey, let me say this. But you didn't tell me what you thought of Miami. Let me tell you this real quick about Florida.
Yep.
You could say that about their offense, but their defense, with their starting 3 defensive linemen down, they had some injuries in game. it's almost like two different groups. When the Florida defense would come out there, holy cow. I was so impressed with the line of scrimmage with 3 guys down against Miami. We're talking about them. They have a first top 5, top 10 pick at right tackle. They got an NFL guy at the left side. This is a really good Miami offensive line. Mark Fletcher, Marty Brown are 1-2 tandem in the backfield. I mean, they're pounding you. And Florida, the defense, it was like a boxer just getting pummeled, but he wouldn't go down. And so as bad as the Florida offense looked in that first half, you got to go to the other end of the spectrum with the Florida defense, at least competing. But it leads me to my question about Miami moves up 2 spots to number 2 in the AP. I love their defense. I love their offensive line and running game. Carson Beck was supposed to be the story.
Yes.
But I'm still just kind of waiting to see him be the Carson Beck that I think we all know he can be. It was not, maybe that was Florida, but Miami just looked okay passing the football in that game.
They did. And I figured it was the rain. I also figured that offensively, see, it's interesting when you look at a game like that and in your mind, you're thinking, hey, the Florida defense is playing really well. In my mind, I was thinking the Miami offenses, they have an attitude of just don't screw it up, because the Florida offense is just awful.
Yeah.
And so we didn't see the same Carson Beck that we had seen in previous weeks. We didn't see the same Miami offense we had seen in previous weeks, where it was like, we're going to throw it around. We're going to take our chances. We're going to dominate a USF team. We're going to go down the field against a Notre Dame defense that we know is pretty good.
Yeah.
I felt like the weather made them play it in a way where it's like, hey, guys, let's just try to not mess this thing up, because that's the worst I've seen Carson Beck look this season.
Yeah.
But again, I'm going to say that was weather. I'm going to say the Florida defense did fight.
Yeah.
But my thoughts on Miami did not change at all, simply because they're in a weather game. They're in a situation where it's like, don't screw it up, because their offense can't score.
That's fair. They got, by the way, they got Florida State. They go up to Tallahassee in 2 weeks, and then we're going to know what's up, right?
Please tell me that's going to have the old school feel.
I know. How much do we miss that?
I don't.
I mean, back in our Miami, Florida State for 20 years,
that was
the game.
Yes.
I hope it gets
rivalry game. Now, this one I'm expecting to feel every bit like a rivalry game.
Yeah. Hey, let's check in with John Mateer, the quarterback from Oklahoma, who's kind enough to hook up with us this week. John, first of all, congratulations on a great start. Good to see you.
Thank you. Yes.
How you feeling at 4 games in, body wise and mindset wise?
Feeling good. We're playing. You take a lot of hits in the game, and every Sunday you feel like you got in a car wreck, but this is the best part. But it's been awesome. These atmospheres and these games have been surreal.
I saw you, Joey, before you hop in, I just want to ask him. I saw you a couple of weeks ago. We saw each other briefly, obviously called the game. And, dude, I just appreciate your style of football so much. And when you're growing up, was there – I look at you almost like a Johnny Manziel, a Baker Mayfield kind of guy. Was there anybody when you're in middle school or high school that you admired or you kind of patterned your game after because of your skill set and the guy that you're watching maybe you admired?
Yeah, definitely both those guys you mentioned. And then really it was Trayvon Boykin at TCU.
Oh, yeah.
Growing up, I really liked watching him, the way he ran around and did cool things. And then but that was when I was pretty young. And then obviously Baker and Kyler and Johnny and all those guys. Now I wasn't like fast when I was young. I was a pocket passer, and then
when did that change? Because you're twitchy. You're really twitchy.
Yeah. I mean, COVID, honestly, like we didn't have school, and I just started running and working out, and I knew I wanted to be fast. So it just ended up happening.
Wow.
John's wondering, when you talk about those guys that you looked up to, and I was looking because I want to see where you're from. How's a guy from Little Elm, Texas, end up at Washington State? How did that happen?
Yeah, it was my only Power 5 offer. I knew I wanted to go Power 5, and I was committed to Central Arkansas for my whole senior season. And then I skipped an early signing day in December, and I wanted to wait to see if anything popped up. And Coach Eric Morris got the job at Washington State and took me up there with him.
It's amazing now with the transfer portal, how that works. Like a guy from Little Elm, Texas goes to Washington State. Now he's back to star at Oklahoma.
Incredible.
And like Herbie just said, when you said you was a pocket passer, when I watch you, you look like a guy that is used to playing like a wide open style. I've seen you throw the jump pass a couple, like you jump in the air. Now, is that necessary, or are you just out here putting some mustard on it?
Yeah. The one against Temple was very unnecessary. Came out to it was a cool picture, but I wasn't thinking. I was just playing, and I just decided to jump. And as I was in the air, I was like, I better complete this ball. Like, I know that I look like an idiot, but it worked out. But like some of the plays, like if I'm off balance, my plant foot will come off the ground. I like Aaron Rodgers, the way he throws and the little foot pop that he has.
Yeah.
I used to do it a lot more. I'm more planted in the ground now. Coaches, it was a little inaccurate, so I had to fix it. But yeah.
John, take us into this world of you didn't have a million Power 5 like Bryce Underwood, who you went up against a couple weeks ago. I don't know I can't remember whatever the numbers are, but he was paid very well to go in, and that's kind of the world that we're in. To go from not having a ton of offers and to go to Washington State, and now you're at Oklahoma. You're in the deep end of the pool now.
Yeah.
Just this whole journey for you to go from just trying to get noticed to now playing and beating Michigan to being, what are you guys ranked 7th in the country? You got Texas coming up. You got an off week. You got Kent. There's just, what's this whole journey been like for you?
Yeah, it's been wild. I mean, you talk about totally flipping the script and coming on the opposite end of the popularity, but it's great. And I'm glad it happened the way it did. I mean, I fear that my young self, if I was getting all the popularity, all the looks, I would be a little satisfied, a little complacent. So I'm glad it happened the way it did. And now it's instilled in me that the hard work is what it takes. But it's a little different, there's a lot more fame, and everything I say is out there now. So I better, got to keep it in.
I would ask you, Nick Saban calls it rat poison. You went from, you build up a reputation at Washington State, but with all due respect, that's just the West Coast, it sometimes gets forgotten by a lot of college football fans. Now you're at Oklahoma, you're the highlights on everything, and a lot of pats on the back. How do you keep your edge? Because your edge is what makes you, and potentially what makes this team a legitimate threat to make a run this year. How do you keep that with everybody telling you how great you are now?
I think it's important to not listen to it. I mean, I don't get on a whole lot of social media, and I think it's important. Aaron Rodgers said it one time, you don't take advice from someone you wouldn't you don't take somebody's opinion that you wouldn't take advice from. And I think it's good and bad. Like, I got a lot of people saying I'm so good, but really it only matters what Coach Kuz and Coach Arbuckle say, and Coach Venables. And I, we played good, but I didn't play my best, and I know I didn't play my best. So a win is great, but we can win cleaner. And I think it's just the process, and Coach Venables talks about all the time, the daily process and getting better. And it's not about the results of winning one game. It's about getting better in the end game. And I think that's so important, and knowing that I play for these guys, not for the stats or because I can get, if my goal is 4 touchdowns, but we still need one more. Like, it doesn't even matter. You play to win the game and do whatever it takes.
Hey, John, question for you. And I know coaches hate this, and you guys get a week off, and then you got a really tough Kent ball club coming up that you guys got to focus on. But you being from Texas, what is that going to be like for you October 11th when you go against the Longhorns?
It's going to be cool. I mean, I really only went to the game one time.
Wow.
Growing up, playing a lot of baseball, a lot of other sports on the weekends. And so I haven't really experienced it. The only game I went to was a COVID game, so there wasn't a whole lot of people there. So the atmosphere is going to be awesome. I mean, it's what you dream of. Jalen Hurts actually told me this. He said, just take it in on your own, with your own opinion and your own. Don't listen to what everybody else says. Don't take their opinion for it. Just take it all in as a player. And it's a great experience, but play down to the game. I think it's still a football game. It's awesome and it's going to be great, but you still got to play the game.
What have you learned about this team that when you broke camp, You thought you guys had a pretty good team,
Mm-hmm.
and now you've been tested. You know, you played Michigan at home. You took on Auburn at home. Your
Right.
journey, by the way, I would argue that your schedule is as challenging as anybody's in the country.
Yes.
But what have you learned? Like, you thought you knew what, and now
Right.
what have you learned 4 weeks in?
I think that we really trust each other, and I think it's so important to know that it's not going to be easy, and we're not expecting it to be easy. But we love it, and we love playing with each other, for each other, and we love getting the job done, like doing it in the end. You can see the way we celebrate with each other and really embrace each other. I mean, this sideline went crazy. Obviously, 10 sacks is awesome, but those last 3 sacks, I mean, everybody's celebrating with each other, and I think that's so important, how close the team is, and we're not doing it for me, and Deion's not doing it for Deion, like we're doing it for each other.
But see, I would say for fans,
Mm-hmm.
that sounds like every team says that. That's
Right.
hard to do,
Yes.
man.
Yes.
How do you actually? Because it does. We're seeing it. How's that happen? How do you? When every guy on your team, you know, this is your guy's reality, and your individual brand is your reality, and guys have agents, and they got to get stats and all this stuff. Like, it's hard to say, hey, you score, that guy scores, whoever. Oklahoma's winning. That used to be easy in our era.
Yeah.
How do you do that today?
Yeah, it's super hard, and you're not wrong, and because everybody, can be on their phones and in their own world after practice, but we really hang out after practice, and we're with each other. And the big thing that we do is we get vulnerable, because as a man, it's hard to get vulnerable. It's hard to give up, your troubles in your past and what makes you. But we did it, and we do it, and it's so important. I think the leadership is good, because the men that have the season on their chest, and even the veterans that don't, we really embrace each other, and we know how the game should be played. So that just trickles down to the freshmen.
John, it's a bye week for you guys, and you mentioned being banged up a little bit, so obviously you got to take care of those things. What else do you have? You got anything planned? Like, what do you do outside of the football field? What are you going to do to have fun in this off week?
Yeah, I don't do a whole lot. I'll be honest. I don't do a whole lot, but I love it that way. I haven't been to one of my high school football games since I left. So this Friday night, it's actually homecoming. It works out. I'm gonna go back home and see that. So I'm really excited for that. Get to see everybody back home, but not a whole lot. Just sleep a whole lot. I got my Oura ring. Hopefully my sleep score is above 90 every night.
Hold up, you have your what?
That's a good effort out of you. That's good.
It's on my right hand. This is my left hand. But
how many hours are you getting a night?
Last night was 8 hours and 53 minutes.
Damn.
8 hours and 53 minutes?
Yeah, it's
good for you.
Of sleep.
I would kill for that.
I was in bed for like 9 hours and 30 minutes. But yeah, thank you.
What time do you shut it down?
What are you clapping for? How can someone sleep that long?
Oh, I like sleep. I'm a good sleeper.
But are you going to bed early and sleep and getting up early? Or are you going to bed late and sleeping in?
No, last night was a little later, Sunday night game, and then stuff happens, and you just end up going to sleep a little later, just scrolling and stuff. But normally it's like 10 o'clock. I try to get to bed 10:30. Normally it's not.
You go to bed at 10 o'clock? How old are you? My goodness.
Hey, he's committed, man.
Yeah, it's not about age. You got to get it done. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
how long did it take you to get your voice in the locker room at a new place? Is that an easy thing for you? Does it come natural?
God has gifted me with some talents to do that, but I think it was all the other guys encouraged me to do it, and they put me in the front of the line right when I got there, and they kind of told me to do it, and everybody told me that they needed a leader and they wanted a leader, and so I was just prayed about it, and I was myself, and it worked, and it didn't take that long, I guess. I mean, I wasn't like yelling at nobody because I wanted to get to know them. It's not fair if I go and start, putting my foot down and doing this and that. But I think it happened organically, and I appreciate the guys letting me do it.
Hey, before we let you go, I think, to me, I watch every team, around the country.
Right.
You and Ben Arbuckle, maybe for people that don't know, he's the offensive coordinator that was with you last year at Washington State. When Brent Venables made the decision to bring him in, you eventually came as well.
Yeah.
Talk about having a 29-year-old offensive coordinator and what that relationship is like for you guys, because it's clearly there's some stuff going on there that works.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I think I was just in his office before this. We were just chatting, and I think it's important just as a man. Like I trust him as a man, and so it ends up. I obviously trust him as a coach, and he's a great human. And he actually just turned 30 last week.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
No, it's good. It's good. Just
Okay.
happy belated birthday to him.
Yeah.
But he's great. I mean, truly, he teaches me everything I know. Like I don't go out there. Yeah, I play with instincts, of course, but they teach me those instincts and what to check and where to look. And it's all they make the game super easy for me. Well, so I appreciate him so much.
We're massive fans of yours and his.
Appreciate it.
Hope you guys stay healthy. Hope you guys keep it going. The challenges will continue to grow, but with your leadership, I'm sure the Sooners will be ready to roll. So we'll see you soon, man. Have a good bye week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. See you.
All right, man.
Well, he's an impressive guy, isn't he? I mean, do you and I both agree that story right now is as good as there is right now in the country with what Oklahoma? By the way, Brent Venables was facing a you better win or else kind of season and made some changes, brought in Ben Arbuckle, brought in John Mateer, both from Washington State, and 2 huge wins so far this year. It's like we said, the waters are going to get choppy. But man, Mateer is so much fun to watch.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. But let's be honest. Do you see the back end of their schedule?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. This has been fun.
Okay. Oh, you think what? You think it's done?
Not done. But here's what I'll say.
Well, let me read it first.
No, go ahead.
Okay, they have Kent State.
No.
I know.
Knock it off.
I'm just going to say it. Texas.
Yes.
They'll probably be favored against Texas in a neutral site in Dallas.
Sure.
At South Carolina, it's on the road in a tough environment. Ole Miss at home, who scores a ton of points.
Absolutely.
At Tennessee.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Battle. You could argue that's as good of environment as there is in the country.
Yep.
And just for fun, let's go at Alabama.
For fun.
The following week. Missouri, who's a top 20 team right now.
Yes.
At home. And LS, just one last swing for the fences. LSU, at least it's at home. So Texas, at South Carolina, Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Alabama, Missouri, and LSU. Is there anybody facing that in the country?
No, I'm not saying they can't do it. What I am saying is, right up until now, it's been cute. It's been fun. It's coming. Like we're going to actually find out.
This is what gets me so fired up at the end of the year in December. I don't have any stock invested in Oklahoma or the SEC.
Yeah.
But I, as a fan, can really respect a team that has to do what they've already played Michigan in the non-conference.
Absolutely right.
They beat Auburn. And then we mentioned Texas, at South Carolina, Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Bama, Missouri, LSU. My point is, if they're 9-3 at the end of that,
no, they're terrible. They're out. Hey, listen now. We've been doing this ranking thing for long enough. We know the rules.
But see, that is wrong. And
that is why.
No. Wait. I'm not talking about what the committee or what the Twitter world does. I'm talking about what Joey Galloway or me would do. They go through that gauntlet. They're 9-3. They'll have played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ranked teams. If they're 9-3 or 10-2 is a given. They're 9-3. You don't think that they would have a case against a team that's 11-1 and played 1 ranked team, 2 ranked teams? Not saying you, not the committee.
Let's compare, because me and you have been on this page for a long time, and then you have the other side that is like, you guys just love the SEC and you hate this.
I love this competition. I love people to get challenged. I don't care about the SEC.
This is why, because people don't look at this schedule here and say, not only do they have all these ranked teams, they're doing it in a row. They're not mixing in, like at the back end of this thing, they're not mixing in anybody else.
But by the way,
is
they're going to
back
South Carolina,
back.
going to Tennessee, and going to Alabama. And luckily they don't have to go to LSU. It's almost like, can you find 3 tougher environments than going to South Carolina, Tennessee, and Alabama?
And so I know what's going to happen. We're going to get to the end. There's going to be a team out there with 1 loss that has literally played 2 ranked teams in a season.
It's pathetic.
You are going to have an argument with, BYU isn't getting enough respect. That's
bro. You know why that happens?
We're going to get.
People have been trained to just look at
wins and losses.
The left column. They have 11 wins. Do you know how hard it is to get to 11 wins?
Yes.
I would say, do you know how hard it is to get to 9 wins with that
schedule? Yes.
Man, now you got me all worked up.
Yeah, I know.
Got me all pissed off here.
But you know how that works. You know how that works. And it is enough to make you want to throw something.
Yeah.
When you listen to the arguments of this team is 11-1. And it's like they didn't play anybody. Yeah, it's coming. We're gonna find out if Oklahoma's any good, but it's been fun up to now. John Mateer's he is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the country to watch.
I'm with you.
I don't like him. I don't like him getting 9 hours of sleep, but that's for you old guys that lay down 9. I don't even know what that thing was on his. Like, I mean, does it help you sleep? I need one of those.
What do you call it? Aura ring?
I don't. If it helps you get to, I would like to try that one time. If I can get past 5 or 6.
What time you go to bed?
I'm going to turn it in right around, I don't know, but somewhere around 1 a.m. I don't know. I'm not suggesting, I'm not saying that's the right thing
not
to do.
When we're in college. I'm talking about what time do you go to bed now?
I know. I'm not saying it's the right way to live.
You go to bed now at 1 o'clock?
You've never met a guy that watches more nonsense than me. And I do it at night. I'll start watching some nonsense on one of these channels. Like I'll be streaming some nonsense and it'll be like a show that I'm not even enjoying. But I've started and I'm not a quitter. I just keep
What time does your wife go to bed?
8? Around the same time as you.
Bro, my goal is to shut it down by 9 o'clock.
That's what I said. Same time as you. Out of there. What do you?
If I can get it, I can get down by 9 o'clock, that's late, by the way. 9 o'clock, and then I'm up at 5. That's pretty good, right?
That's that is old man living right there. Bed at 9, up at 5. What do you do at 5?
I get up, get a workout, get up, start doing work, start looking at film. I don't know, just get up and it's quiet.
It's quiet at 1 a.m. too.
No question. I can't believe you still stay up at 1 o'clock.
I do. I don't know why. I don't suggest it, but I do.
You suck.
I know.
Big Ten football.
Yep.
Thoughts on it so far? Ohio State, by the way, what a test they're going to have this week at Washington. I don't care. I don't even know if Washington's ranked. I don't think they are. If you've ever been to Seattle to watch a college football game, you know how tough it is, and they got skill. Damon Williams is playing as well as any quarterback in the country. What are your thoughts? You got Penn State and Oregon, the whiteout, and I don't mean to look ahead. I'm just saying we're going to find out a little bit more about these. I think Ohio State at Washington is a bigger test than Arch Manning in Texas coming to Columbus and what proved to be a game that was pretty challenging, even though Arch didn't play that well. USC's ranked; they're up at 21. They're 4-0. They go to Illinois this week. Indiana, we mentioned, they're up at 11. They go to Iowa. Maryland's 4-0.
Yeah.
Like Loxley.
Yeah.
And I mentioned Washington sitting there undefeated at 3-0. What are your thoughts on the Big Ten right now?
There is one game for me that I have absolutely been waiting on. And I've had this one circled because I knew it was going to happen. I knew when you look at their schedules, I knew that Penn State was going to play absolutely nobody. And they were going to be ranked in the top 5. And I knew that Oregon was going to play absolutely nobody and be ranked in the top 5. This is what I've been waiting on right here.
Find out.
So we can find out.
Well, it's a find out
no one
Saturday.
have to guess.
It's a find out Saturday coming up.
Absolutely. We get to find out what they are. Now we're going to get into our top fives, and I don't have either team in my top five because we haven't seen them do anything. But we're going to find out this weekend when Oregon has to go face a whiteout. I remember when I went to face a whiteout, Herbie, we had on our black socks. I don't know if you It's back when they had 3 top 10 picks that year. Kajana Carter.
That was 1994. That was maybe the best college offense other than the 19 LSU team. Kyle Brady.
Yeah.
Kerry Collins.
We rolled
Kajana Carter. Bobby Ingram.
With our black socks.
But you guys look sweet with your black socks.
Oh, we look sweet for every bit of 3 minutes.
That lion.
Yeah.
How many times did that up? That thing went off the entire game.
In the fourth quarter of the whiteout,
he
retired.
Already
down. I think we were down 60 points at this point. They had scored their 15th touchdown of the game, and I'm back there, and I'm back for a kickoff return. And this is late fourth,
but you had your black socks on still.
Yeah,
right?
oh, I looked good, and the fans are still giving it to me. It's
what was the score?
Quarter, we're down 60. And the fans, I looked up and I'm like, what do you want me to, what do you want? You're winning by 60.
It's over. Leave us alone. Leave me alone.
What do you want from me at this point? The whiteout is serious.
Hey,
the whiteout.
Remember when you leave the locker room to walk out to the field? There's
is this still the same?
People buying hot dogs, and
is this still the same?
They got a little yellow rope where they're holding the people back to
I assumed that it was.
No, I think it's the same.
Because you remember when we used to travel to Wisconsin, and before you left the locker room, they would warn you, don't look back. When you get out, just don't look back.
Yeah.
It's different there now. They've changed some things.
Yeah.
It's much more inviting. They sing a song.
It was scary back then.
They sing a song, and you know what I mean? And it's like back then, and I was
they had riot gear, state troopers with those plastic shields standing right there.
Come out, and you would start to hear as soon as you left the little awning thing,
and the chain link fence.
It would be
on top of it.
It would be snowballs filled with dimes and nickels.
Yeah,
smacking off of.
Oh yeah, they threw a tomato and splattered my whole back of my neck.
That used to be Wisconsin. You're telling me that Penn State is still the old school way when you walk through there?
You're sitting there like, hey, can I get a hot dog, 2 Cokes, a pretzel, and then here comes the specialist for Ohio State coming out to the field.
I thought
right here.
I think
that
was no
like
longer.
That.
I can't believe that's still the case. But yeah, the whiteout will be. I am looking forward to this game as much as any game this season. And the crazy part is, I think the Bama Georgia game's at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you guys do better? Give me something at 3:30 and something at 7:30. You know what I mean? Like,
dude,
don't do both at the same time.
Well, the college football weekend that's ahead of us is, first of all, it starts on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State and Virginia. I'm just looking here real quick. Early, you got USC, Illinois, Notre Dame, Arkansas. Ohio State plays at Washington at 3:30 Eastern.
Mm-hmm.
LSU, Ole Miss is 3:30 Eastern. Auburn at A&M is 3:30 Eastern. Indiana at Iowa is 3:30. Tennessee, Mississippi State, which is a scary game for Tennessee against undefeated Mississippi State, is this week. Arizona is playing at Iowa State. Both of those teams are unranked. And then the night games, Oregon at Penn State, and the game I'll be calling Alabama and Georgia. And by the way,
Iowa State's ranked, by the way.
Yeah, they're 14.
They're
14. And by the way, BYU goes to Colorado just when you just think you've had enough. 10:15 ESPN. Undefeated BYU is going to Colorado. Real quick,
I might go to bed at 9. I might go to bed at 9 on Friday.
Saturday is the only time I don't go to bed at 9. That's the only time.
Friday night, I'm going at 9. I'll be ready for Saturday. That's about as good as you can line it up right there. Give me one of those rings.
There's a top 25. We'll hit our top 5. They got Ohio State up there at 1. Miami moved up to 2. There's Penn State, your Lions team that you're all about, up there at 3.
Mm-hmm.
I like LSU. They're at 4. Georgia's at 5. We're going to look at all of ours. Look at Illinois. They dropped a ton all the way down to 23. Indiana shot way up to number 11. There's Texas Tech.
Uh-huh.
All the amount of money that they spent, it's paying off up to this point for them. They're at 12. So how about the one team that stands out to me there? There's 2 teams that I'm having a lot of fun watch. Georgia Tech at 16, and there's old Vanderbilt. See that V? That like that's a V. You see it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I anchor down. I see it.
Vandy.
I'm not in yet. All right.
What?
Look.
How can you not be in on Diego Pavia and Clark Lee?
I love him. I love what they're doing. But I feel like they are like Maryland in
Come
the way.
on.
They're going to. They're like
they went to South
Pirates.
Carolina and won 31-7.
They're going to give you something in the season to get you excited, and then they snatch it away.
Okay,
that's why
that's been their calling card.
That's been Maryland, same way, sitting at 4-0.
Do we have to do our top 5? I don't feel good about my top 5.
No, I feel really good about mine.
I don't know. I just don't know. Like you said about the real quick, because we got to hit some NFL. Let's put your top 5 up there. I feel better about yours than mine.
Yeah, I feel really good about my
wow, you got Georgia up there at 2. Good for you.
Yeah, I
feel Miami down at 4. Great. Okay.
See, here's the thing. Nothing.
No Penn State. No LSU.
Nope. But after this weekend, sir. See, this weekend is movement weekend for me. Exactly.
Everything
up until now, I mean, Miami moved up 2 spots and beaten Florida. Why? Who's Florida? Who? Florida's 1-3 now.
Yeah.
But why?
All right. Let me see my top 5 that I don't feel good about. I got LSU. I got Penn State, Ohio State. Mine can flip around just like yours. I mean,
why would you would be kicked out of the committee room with Penn State? Out.
Why? What are they ranked in real life? Weren't they
their
3?
Resume? They have nothing.
I'm not saying they have anything. I'm going on what they are going to be.
You're a man of faith.
Yeah. I like Penn State.
I like Penn State also. But again, they've been one of those teams.
Well, I know James Franklin hasn't done great against top 5 teams. We'll see. I think this year is going to be different. We'll see.
Okay. I can live with that.
Mine are same as last week. See there? They put it right there. I haven't changed. I didn't change anything after.
Yep. Me either.
Last week.
Me either. Right there together.
By the way, all of these are going to change next week.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have to think about it.
NFL. I called a fun game Thursday with Bills and Dolphins. Bills actually needed to fight a little harder than I think a lot of people expected, the way Miami competed against them. But
can I ask you a question?
Huh?
Can I ask you a question for you?
Yeah.
Because you mentioned it. Do you know Mike McDonald personally?
Yeah.
Can you send him a text? Do you see the way he answers questions now? He looks beat down. Like, I feel like before he had this, I don't know, like this, I'm a whiz kid kind of guy. I'm on top of things. It is what it is. And when I listen to him, when I see him now answering questions, I just feel like he looks like he's like beat down, like the situation.
Well, let me ask you this: if 2 years ago you were the toast of town, and everybody's talking about you, and now at your own stadium, they have fire the GM, Chris Greer, flying around the stadium. Every time you go to a post-game presser, do you think you'll still be the coach next week? Like, I mean, he likes to be tested. He's being tested. It's hard to be the way he would do interviews 2 years ago when they put 70 on Denver.
Uh-huh.
It's a little bit different right now. I was impressed with how they competed. I think a lot of people thought they were going up to Buffalo to get killed, and they went up there, and I thought they played pretty well. But I sense the same thing you're talking about. I mean, I think he's embattled right now.
Yeah, but he sounds like it. And I understand what you're saying. And I think that me and you've had these kind of conversations before where, hey, listen, you worked your butt off 2 years ago. You worked your butt off last year, and you are working your butt off now.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you go to answer these questions, why are we... you're the same person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like whether you're winning or losing, you're the same person. So you should be answering the questions the same. When you do that, it is like people smell blood in the water. And they're like, we got him on the ropes. Now let's just throw haymakers. Now I think it just opens a door for people to start to say things and do things. And I'm sorry, it's Mike McDaniel. I said McDonald, but
McDaniel,
I just want to see him be like, give us the same Mike McDaniel gave us 2 years ago, and quit letting the banners and the media asking about your job. Hey, go do your job, and it is what it is. All right.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Packers ran into a buzzsaw in Cleveland. The Browns defense, Schwartzy has those guys flying. Jim Schwartz, the defense coordinator of Cleveland, that's hard to do against that Green Bay offense. I know teams have down weeks. It's a long season, but was it like 7 or 8 games came down? It seems like every game you're flipping around to came down to the last possession. I mean, that so much parity. And I know what the NFL wants, but some great games yesterday.
It's not amazing. And I know we don't get into the betting and have the numbers here, but if you would have had to pick a game off the board yesterday that you said, hey, this is here's where I'm putting my money.
Yeah,
this is the game.
You'd have said probably Green Bay over Cleveland.
Green Bay over Cleveland, especially to come down and in Cleveland need to kick a field goal to win it. You're going double down.
Yeah,
give me Green Bay over Cleveland, and then the Browns step up. And the other one that I thought was amazing,
0-2, by the way, and they end up getting their first win.
The other one, the Bears and the Cowboys, to me, like when I watch that game, it's not because anybody in the NFL can beat anybody. Like,
oh yeah,
the difference in talent is razor thin between the best team in the league and the worst team in the league.
Incredible.
They all have first rounders. They all have All-Americans. They all have it all. The reason the Bears beating the Cowboys was so out of sorts to me is the same thing I said about watching Clemson Syracuse. At no point in time in that game did Clemson look like the better team. At no point in time.
No.
And I felt the same way when I watched the Bears Cowboys, and the Bears come in
hadn't won a game. Yeah.
Hadn't won a game.
And everybody's talking about Caleb Williams, and he puts together
Williams is terrible.
Yeah. Threw for what, 298 and 4 touchdowns?
Yeah, it was like they looked like they were flat out just the better football team. Caleb Williams throws for 4 I mean, that stuff that happens in football, especially in the NFL, is amazing to me.
I'm with you.
That happens like that in that game.
Yeah. And it's just so unpredictable. The Chargers look really good with Jim Harbaugh and Herbert. See that throw he made late yesterday to end up winning that football game is another one of those late games. The other one that stood out to me was the Bucks. Like Baker Mayfield, they're 3-0, and all 3 games, Baker Mayfield has had to make a play late. He and the offense has had to make a play late.
Yeah.
And he's done it. I remember when he was in Cleveland, they got rid of him. He was doing all those commercials. He's terrible. Goes to Carolina for a cup of coffee. They get rid of him. Flies out for just literally a few days, goes out to the Rams, ends up beating the Raiders after like 2 days of prep on a Thursday night game, 2-minute drill, didn't even know the offense. And then he ends up going to Tampa, and he obviously these last couple of years, he's he's really settled in, and he's another guy. If Tampa Bay's on, you're watching. You just don't know what he's going to do. They're a fun team, but that was a huge
amazing. Win. Hey, before we get out of here, I'll just last week you mentioned the Bengals, and hey, Joe Burrow's down, but
hey, I tell you what. You know what I'm going to do? I hate you. You know what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
Jake Browning had an off day. The whole ball club. You know what, though? While you're goofing on the Bengals, the Cincinnati Redlegs.
We're back.
The Cincinnati Reds. They're tied for the last spot in the wild card. 6 games to go. Guess who they're playing? The Pirates, your team, for 3 games. Do us a favor and be you. Let us take. We're going to lose to Skeens. Or what's his name?
Turn your phone off if we happen to win that.
We're taking 2. All we want from you is 2 or 3.
You need 2 or 3?
When your ace throws, you can have that one. We need the other 2.
You better turn your phone off. If my Pirates can do if they can do me one favor, it would be to ruin the Reds' chances.
I appreciate that. I think we've got to go. I appreciate you. Thanks for getting the Bengals in there. When we get together next week, we're going to be breaking down the Reds in the playoffs next week. Okay. We'll have to add a little bit of extra time for the Redlegs, but thank you, Joey, for coming on. We had a lot of fun. This is only week 2. By the way, this, you could argue, coming up is the best weekend until we get to the rivalry weekends late in November.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe the best weekend. Do everything you can to get everything you have to do. Get it
done.
Bed
by 9 on Friday. Bed by 9 on Friday.
Tune into game day and just sit there until 1 a.m. and enjoy. It's one of those weeks for college football. So you guys have a great week. We will check in next week with you guys. But Joey, great show. Appreciate it, man.
That was fun.
Yep. See ya.